I'm back. I'm William Poett. I don't know what you're doing, but I hope you'll spend a couple minutes with me because my intention is to use this time to love, serve, and elevate you. And I promise if you spend 10 minutes with me, there'll be one idea, there'll be one insight that will bring you more joy, more harmony, and a greater capacity to serve. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. And I want to talk about this paradox of life, right? How do you thrive in chaos? And I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to recognize that the world is now, and it's always been in a state of chaos. And here's the paradox. What if I only had one day to live? And what if I was going to live for 1,000 years? How do I merge these two? I've got one day to live. This is my last time on the planet, and I'm going to be here for 1,000 years. And when you plan a journey, 2 years ago, Laura and I did the John Muir Trail. It's a 220-mile hike from Yosemite to the top of Mount Whitney, and there's a lot of logistics and a lot of planning. And while you're hiking, you're moving to the end, but that's not the point. The point is to enjoy the process. And that's this paradox. What are you going to do today for maximum joy and impact? I want you to ask this question every single morning. What am I going to do today for maximum joy and impact? And then if you and I are blessed with tomorrow, we're going to get up and we're going to do it again. And we're going to get up and we're going to do it again. So there's this balancing between where are we going? What is the most beautiful idea for your life you can imagine? And where am I right now? And what am I going to do right now? And so what I want to do, I want to give you some training tools. Okay. We are 9Q Solutions. I'm going to give you 4 pillars and 5 elements. 4, 5, 9. And these are the distillation of 40 years of study, traveling around the world, working with the best tier 1 special operators, NHL Hall of Fame members, heads of billion-dollar companies, and there's such fractured energy. If we could just distill it into its essence. So if you'll join me, here we go. The 4 pillars. What is the purpose of life? If you have a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 40-year-old, or a 90-year-old, this is what I have come to discover is the meaning of life. Right? There are 4 things we've got to do. Number 1, I got to come into alignment. I have to be aligned. If you say one thing and do another, you're out of alignment. If you think one thing and say another, you're out of alignment. So when alignment, for me, it's really tapping into God, divine wisdom, my purpose, my divine purpose, right? And then having my heart and mind and body all in support of that. So we call it a flow state. Come into alignment. Live your truth. The number 1 regret of the dying is I didn't have the courage to live my truth. That's tragic. That's the number 1 regret. So our heart, our inner compass knows when we are in or out of alignment. So number 1, don't pick a career because your dad wants you to or because your mom wants you to. Follow your truth. So number 1, come into alignment. That is the first thing we have to do in life to have any joy, any impact. Number 2, you are a gift delivery system. You might have never heard that before. You are a gift delivery system. I personally love that idea. So you want to grow that system. You want to optimize that system. And so we have different energies, right? We've got physical energy, intellectual, emotional, spiritual. Make sure that every single week, make sure that today you are growing that system. And tomorrow and the next day. So if every day you spend and invest a little bit of time in growing your gift delivery system, your life is going to be greater, right? So I'm going to grow. I'm going to align. I'm going to grow. Here's the next part. And I'm doing this right now. Serve. Whatever is your inherent gift. I'm a teacher. I'm a guide. I've been doing this since I was teaching sailing when I was 14 years old. I love learning and imparting ideas, thoughts, and wisdom. It's my favorite thing. It's why I was born, right? So come into alignment, your truth, your mind, your heart, divine intelligence, come into alignment, right? Then grow. Wake up and go, I am a gift delivery system. And some of us are not optimized. If you are overweight, get in shape. If you don't have the education you need, Get the education. If you lack emotional intelligence, develop those skill sets. Why? So we can serve. And what's the power and magic of service? This is the best part. When I love and serve another person, when I elevate another person, nothing feels better. It is the best feeling on earth because we're interconnected. We human beings are interconnected. And that's why when you look at all the rage and hatred on social media, no one is feeling good. I promise you, when someone posts something and people start attacking each other, no one's feeling good because we are tearing down. We're not elevating. We're not loving. We're not supporting each other. We're not serving. So, Christ said, what is the number one commandment? Love God, right? Love God with all that I am. The problem is God doesn't need anything from me. So the next thing Christ says is love your fellow man as yourself. So the way I serve and love God is I serve you guys. I bring my gifts. If you are a musician, play music. If you are a chef, cook. If you're an engineer, design, create, elevate the world, right? So we've got first three things, first three or four pillars: align, grow, serve. And here's the last part: scale. Get really good at sharing your gifts with the world. In our company, we teach this concept under SQ. I'm going to get into these 5 elements next. This is your spiritual quotient. Money is currency. It's an exchange of energy. You work in the field and I give you money for what you do. You design software, I give you money for what you do. You teach children, I give you money for what you do. Well, the currency that I receive is equal to the impact I have. And I don't just mean, here's where people get confused. Yes, an amazing teacher has tremendous impact on 35 brilliant minds. Mother Teresa had impact on hundreds of millions of people. Tom Brady has impact on hundreds of millions of people. So it's this idea of scaling your gifts. Jillian Michaels, there's a lot of great trainers I haven't heard of. I've heard of Jillian Michaels, Wolfgang Puck. There are a lot of great chefs I've never heard of. So this is that final idea, right? We align, we grow, we serve, and we scale. That's it. That's the point of life. Okay, so those are the 4 pillars. Now, I want to talk about the 5 elements of energetic intelligence because that's what our company does. We teach and we certify individuals and organizations in energetic intelligence. Why does it matter? Because everything is energy. Energy literally means in physics capacity to work. So the individuals that have the greatest understanding that can manage their capacity to work have the greatest joy and have the greatest impact, right? So what makes up capacity to work? 5 elements. Earth, the earth element, right? That's your physical quotient, your body, your strength, your health and vitality. It's foundational. I don't care how brilliant you are or how emotionally intelligent you are. If you feel terrible, you have 0 capacity to impact. So the earth element, that's your PQ, physical quotient. The next element is the water element. Water is cold, clear, detached. It's your intellect. It's the scientific process. It's the ability to reason and problem solve, which, by the way, is being augmented exponentially by artificial intelligence. Then we have the fire element. The fire element is our emotional quotient. This is your EQ, your capacity to be self-aware, to self-manage, and then to serve and elevate others. It's such a key, critical skill set. In fact, we know from data that people with high EQs make more money than people with high IQs. Why? Because if I am working from my PQ and IQ alone, I am 1 unit of energy. And no matter how powerful that unit of energy is, I might be a triathlete who graduated from MIT and Wharton. I'm still 1 unit of energy. People with high emotional intelligence, these are team leaders. So now I get 4 units of energy, 5, 10, 50, 100 units of energy aligned. And 10 units of energy are going to beat 1 awesome unit of energy every day. The last element, or the next element, the 4th element, is the wind element, right? This is our spiritual quotient. I touched on this. Every human being is interconnected. We are all connected. And when you love and when you serve and when you elevate another person, you are loved, served, and elevated. And when you attack and when you diminish and when you tear down and hurt another person, you will be hurt. And so in this wind element, this is really where we scale, right? Now the pillars are starting to come in. In the earth element, I align. The water element, I train, I grow. In the fire element, I lovingly serve. And in the wind element, I take my gifts at scale to the world. The final element is the void. It's God for me. If you're a physicist, you might call it the quantum field, but it is the interconnecting or harmonizing unit of energy. We call it 9Q. It is that which brings everything into harmony. It connects everything. The elements independently have no life in them. But when you look at a beautiful ecosystem, when you look at Yosemite, you see the earth and the water and the fire and the wind all teeming with life. And it's beautiful. The human body, an orchid. And so God, that unifying source that brings it all together, that's really where the magic is. And so just think about these four elements and four pillars: align, grow, serve, scale, and then the five elements: earth, your physical quotient; water, your intelligence quotient; fire, your emotional quotient; wind, your spiritual quotient; and then the void or energy or source or God, 9Q, your energetic quotient, that which brings it all together. So today, the paradox: love to the best of your ability, be in alignment, serve, and then spend time working on how you can take your gift delivery system and optimize for the greatest possible impact. So that's it. Thank you for your time and energy. Much love. I will be back. I'm not going anywhere, at least today,